disagrees and goes over to complain to the Uruguayan.
Well, I think it is a free kick because it is dangerous play. He had no idea that Aaron Barry was coming in with his head there, but it was slightly dangerous. Having seen the replay, I'm not sure there was any contact.
So Shibasaki, we won't be seeing a repeat of that scorching volley that beat Mark ter Stegen, and which still represents the difference between the two sides. In his place, Alvaro Jimenez, 22 years of age, from Cordoba.
We've seen the intelligence of Sergio Roberto to pull the ball back and find Denis Suarez, and we've seen Denis Suarez, who came on in this second half as a substitute, add something different. He's found some space inside the area and he's pulled off what is a magnificent finish. Really, really clever. As you said, barely any backlift whatsoever. It's not about power, that finish, it's all about precision, and he puts it straight into the top corner. There's no stopping it.
Well, that sets us up brilliantly for the final half hour. Samuel Umtiti playing the ball out from the back. I just wonder whether Getafe may be starting to tire a little bit. Leo Messi does brilliantly well. Here's Sergio Roberto combining with De La Feo. The fans getting behind Getafe. Suarez steps over the ball and Bergara hoiks it away for a Barcelona throw-in. Suarez, a wry smile on his face as he realised there was nobody waiting behind that step over. Here's the scorer, Denis Suarez, adding that little bit of spark that we thought he might. Danger here, very nearly fell for Jordi Alba as Alvaro Jimenez couldn't quite get the ball away. Damian Suarez helps out. Jimenez wins a free kick, or is it a throw-in? I think it's a free kick.
Yeah, I think it is.
By Denis Suarez there.
Obstruction from Suarez as he just stepped across in front of him as we see the goal again. Really clever from Sergio Roberto. Magnificent finish as well from Denis, we've said that already, but it's clever from Sergio Roberto. The instinct would have been to go to Luis Suarez, who'd made that near post run, but he got his head up. He saw that Denis Suarez was in more space, had a better angle, and he picked him out, and the finish is absolutely unstoppable into the side netting. Really good football from Football Club Barcelona, and well, the youngsters have dug Ernesto Valverde out of a bit of a hole there. The three of them combining brilliantly.
They have. I really like the way that Denis just stopped the ball first, just to give himself a second of time to compose himself, and then curled it away from Whiter. 1-1, and this one beautifully poised now. Good ball in from Alba towards Suarez. It's cleared by Damian Suarez. Just one or two Suarez too many on the pitch at the moment. I like it. Rakitic and Bergara being spoken to by the referee, Fernandez Borbalan. He's a referee who handled the game in Mestalla between Valencia and Real Madrid, that thrilling 2-2 draw, and he was very impressive because he did allow physical contact, he did allow play to flow, he played the advantage absolutely brilliantly for both sides, and he seems to be in pretty tight control of this one too. Rakitic there, possibly fouled again. This time the whistle has to go.
Really good Ivan Rakitic. He's grown into this game as well. We've seen much more from him in this second half. Such an important player at Football Club Barcelona.
Well, that one very nearly finding Gerard Piqué there, very nearly surprising the Getafe defence. Barcelona is so impressive at taking quick free kicks.
More often than not, because it's Leo Messi who's standing over them, who's, in football terms, the most intelligent player in the world.
NDIA. And Barry picking out Damian Suarez. Now Jimenez, and seems to run straight into Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba turning, look at the linesman. It was the linesman who notified the referee that there was foul play there. Jordi Alba has a long look at the linesman as he sees a yellow card for that. I think Jimenez actually, let's have a look. Well, he makes the most of it, really. Just the hand grazing the outside of his jawbone there. I don't think Alba can be called guilty of much more than obstruction there, but he got a yellow card for it.
Yeah, he just stood his ground, didn't he? Obviously, we've seen it in slow motion. It all happened in real time. Difficult to get out of the way of that kind of thing.
Faisal Fahir with the free kick. Danger here for Barca. Swung into the far post, and up for it was Janet Dakonam. And in the end, blasted over from Jimenez, who's had a bit of an impact since coming off the bench. And we see again the determination of Deulofeu as Antunes lost his ground. Very intelligent, as you said, from Sergio Roberto, and an excellent finish from Denis Suarez. An all-round goal made in Masia, made in Barcelona's Masia Academy. Here's Deulofeu. Back to Rakitic. And he loses out to Faisal Fahir. And couldn't quite link up with NDIA because Umtiti was the sharpest of the lot. Deulofeu taking on Antunes, getting into the box, just couldn't quite make the pullback. Still Deulofeu, and there were so many blue shirts there that he ran out of space.
Really good though, once again, really positive from Deulofeu.
The whistle's gone for offside. I don't think Molina heard it. He's a little bit annoyed with the linesman's decision. I think the body language says, "I disagree, sir." Gerard Piqué grateful to see the flag raised on that occasion, and that's the kind of break that gets the fans off their feet and getting behind the home side. Rakitic on the ball.
I think it shows how this game's changed though, Simon, how infrequently we've mentioned Molina in the second half compared to the first half. He was such an important presence for Getafe, holding the ball up in those attacks they had in the first half, but we barely mentioned his name in this second period.
Here's Leo Messi as Suarez gets up. Suarez in the box. He didn't quite make the pass he wanted to make. I think he was waiting for Messi's arrival and expected it to be sooner rather than later. Also had Denis Suarez available. Here's Busquets. Barcelona starting to impose themselves now with half of this second period still to go. Deulofeu. Rakitic. Well, Getafe still have the honour of saying they're the first team to score against Barcelona in La Liga this season.
In any competition this season.
Except for the Super Cup.
Well, except for the Super Cup. All right, I'll let you off with that.
Here's Gerard Piqué. Suarez, a little touch to Rakitic, he gets it back. Just driving through a forest of bodies there. Leo Messi. Messi goes through them all. Couldn't quite. I think he got past 4 before coming a cropper. There's a huge appeal for penalty, waved away by referee Borbalan. Chance on the break here, picked up by Molina, and it's going to fall to Jimenez. Only Umtiti can get across, and does he get across cleanly or not? The linesman looks unmoved. The referee waves play on. Another brilliant piece of defending then from Samuel Umtiti.
Well, he was 100% committed, wasn't he? The Frenchman was determined to get there, and according to the referee and the linesman, who had a very, very good view, he did. Wow, but I'm not sure, having seen the replay. Yes, he did.
Does get the,
definitely does.
The toe of his boot to the ball. I think after it came off Jimenez. Offside there against Deulofeu. Barca have to watch being caught on that kind of break, as more and more in these final 20 minutes they'll be pushing forward, and any ball lost like this one can lead to problems. I don't think there's anything there really from Jeanette on Suarez. Suarez seeming to be on his way down when he felt the ball was out of his control. Borbalan was unmoved anyway. Amath Ndiaye is going to be the second player to be replaced for Getafe, and he's replaced by Sergio Mora, the former Rayo Vallecano and Murcia central midfielder, perhaps just to help out Bergara and Adam Barry a little bit in these final 20 minutes or so. Jimenez, not the softest of touches there. It'll be a goal kick to Football Club Barcelona.
Well, of course, it's going to be a huge test for Getafe these final 20 minutes. Barca absolutely determined to continue their 100% start to the season. This is the penalty, or the penalty shout anyway. Penalty claim from Suarez. Was he caught or wasn't he by Dakonam? I think there's certainly contact, but as you said, Simon, looked as though Suarez was maybe on his way down already. However, Dakonam does put his leg sort of through Suarez's legs. It's a slightly clumsy and unnecessary challenge. Could have been given.
Busquets goes down and wins a free kick. Slightly awkward looking challenge. Sergio Busquets quickly back on his feet. And Borbolan's given a yellow card to Suarez, and well, he's earned himself that, the Uruguayan.
Well, he's furious he didn't get his penalty, and he's not let up. He's been in the referee's ear until he's been shown the yellow card.
Well, referees have been very, very clear so far this season that they're not going to accept any dissent at all, and you can see it. There's just that moment. Well, the replay stopped there. There was just a moment where Suarez continued his complaint, and Fernandez Borbolan turned round and said, right, yellow card. Looking for Piqué. Oh, he couldn't quite bring it under control, and I think the flag was up for offside there anyway. Well, Suarez is offside. Whether Piqué was or not, it was tight, but the flag was immediately raised by the linesman on the far side. But we've seen quite a few players on the opening day of this season. Ever Banega picked himself up a double yellow card in about 10 seconds.
That was ridiculous. Yeah.
We saw Griezmann get a double yellow card and get sent off in the first week as well. And refs have been clear, no dissent will be accepted, as Luis Suarez had just found out. Goal kick to Barcelona. Bordalas scheming away with his number 2 there in the technical area in front of the dugout. Piqué playing the ball out for Barcelona. Samuel Umtiti. First time back from Suarez to Dennis. Dennis doing well. Deulofeu couldn't quite get there. Barcelona start again. Sergio Roberto inside to Ivan Rakitic. Busquets. Denis Suarez. Luis Suarez back to Ivan Rakitic. Here's Messi. Tries the typical scooped pass towards Rakitic. The defence got it away. Throw to Barcelona. Sergio Roberto shakes off the first challenge. I couldn't get past Damian Suarez. He defended that brilliantly.
Very, very solid. And you could almost see he was kind of saying, there's no way past me. He was encouraging Jordi Alba to take him on, and he couldn't.
Well, it's Rakitic who is given a bit of a rest. Good performance from him today. And he's such a battling character. I mean, the Uruguayan footballer in its essence is probably a mixture of Damian Suarez and Luis Suarez. On opposite sides today, they have shared the pitch on occasions for the Uruguayan national side. They are no relation. Good first time ball from Deulofeu to Paulinho. Deulofeu fighting to get back. And Sergio Roberto with the ball into Paulinho. Deulofeu just couldn't quite get it on the end of the return pass.
Yeah, he read that well, didn't he, Deulofeu? Knew that the header was going back towards the goalkeeper, but couldn't quite get there ahead of Guaita.
Well, every long clearance from Guaita seems to find the head of Jorge Molina. On that occasion, there was no one really to link up with. Mauro Barry there. Been a solid performance from him. The whole Getafe side has performed absolutely brilliantly.
Well, if Bordalas can get this kind of performance out of his Getafe players week in, week out, which so far he's managed to do, in fairness to him, then I really think Getafe are going to have a very good campaign and potentially a fairly comfortable campaign. I don't think they'll have too many relegation worries if they do continue to play at this level, this commitment, this organisation, this discipline. They've been superb so far this season, absolutely superb.
Joao Deulofeu pulled up for this foul or shirt tug or or whatever you want to call it, on Juan Calais. He doesn't agree too much with the referee's decision, but it seems fairly clear that the whistle was going to go. It's a workmanlike Getafe side. That hasn't always been the case in the past. In their past spell in the top flight, they had some brilliantly...
Lucky that Suarez messed it up.
Tunis through the middle. It's brilliantly defended once again by Samuel Umtiti, with Alan Barry putting a lot of pressure on him. He's just become a bit of a constant presence in attack over the last few minutes, the young Uruguayan, as quite clearly, as you say, I think, Duncan, Getafe sense they've got a chance of the 3 points here. 1 point is a magnificent result for Bordalas and company. 3 points would be, well, one of the huge stories of the season so far. So full credit to the side from the south of Madrid, but it ain't over yet. Leo Messi on the ball, feeds it through. Paulinho writes the headline. Set up by Leo Messi. What a way to make your first mark on the history of Football Club Barcelona. It's Paulinho, a signing that's been questioned over this summer, Duncan, but that goal is worth a 7-point lead momentarily over Real Madrid, and that has value.
Still 6 minutes to go, yeah, but you're absolutely right, and it's just pure power here from Paulinho. It's a brilliant run. He's a box-to-box midfielder. Look at that power to get beyond the Getafe defence, and it's an excellent finish as well. He scores a lot of goals, does Paulinho. As you say, it was a signing that was questioned. He came from China. He didn't have too much success in the Premier League with Tottenham Hotspur, but he's a player who plays every single Brazil national game, and he scores a lot of goals for the national team, and I think there he sums up what he's all about.
There was no way on earth Janed Daconan was getting near that ball there. He held him off with his body, used all his strength. He's not the fastest player in the world, but you try taking it off him when he's on a run. As you pointed out, the run was brilliant. Messi, of course, clocked it immediately, and the finish, well, giving Vicente White no chance. But the